No, because what you're not understanding is that we trusted him. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever someone tells you that they're one person, but they're not that person, they're actually somebody else, what reason do they give you not to believe what they say? Why would you automatically assume that someone who claims to care about you or claims to be there for you is actually lying right to you? Like, make that make sense for me. And when I say make that make sense, I'm saying it in the sense of, what gratification do you get out of taking advantage of people? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you just sit around and give yourself props for making someone look like a fool for believing you? Then wonder why you are who you are in real life? Is that our fault too? I mean, should we sit back and be mad at ourselves for finding out the truth? That you just wanted to talk to women, so you tricked us into talking to you? Today we're going to film outside because my kids are inside, and it's December 26th, which is the day after Christmas, and there's toys everywhere, and there's no controlling anybody inside of that house right now. So if you guys hear anything, there's a main road right there, and I'm a little bit back from it, so it'll be cars or whatever that is, but just try to bear with me while we're out here. Today's going to be a story time. So in this story time, I might change some names. I'm not sure yet. I'm sure everybody who was involved in this is going to watch this at some point in time and see or hear their names or know who they are whenever I'm talking about them. But mostly I'm going to tell you about us getting involved in a group on Twitter that ended up being ran by someone who was just a creep, an actual creep. Okay, so here it goes. Maybe a few months ago, I was contacted on Twitter by a person, and I'm actually not going to say his name, but he does watch these videos, and he will see this because he will not let go. But I was contacted by a person who was talking about my makeup and what I do on Twitter. Twitter can be a very harsh place for a lot of people. There's a lot of judgment that gets passed around. So people will have you think there's a lot of judgment that gets passed around between us. But he contacted me to get put into a group of fellow makeup artists and makeup lovers that were growing on Twitter, that our followings were growing on Twitter. And I accepted. I said, okay, fine, you put me in the group, that'll be great. I built some relationships. At that point in time, it was more of a group where we would go post our pictures. We would all go and like each other's pictures. We became close with each other. Some of us did. Some of us weren't as active as others were. We would talk about our families, our health problems, our reproductive issues as women. We would post pictures of our children. We would talk about our children. And this person, Mark, I'm going to call him Mark, he was just always there. He wasn't quite engaged in the conversation until certain topics came up with us. It was always less talking, more makeup. That's what you guys are good at. Makeup, more glam, more being beautiful. Post pictures of your body, post pictures of your makeup. That's what you guys are good at. Like, people became uncomfortable. We all ignored our better instincts in the entire situation because to us, Mark was a social media manager. He was a glam coach. We've seen this beautiful picture of this transgender woman on his Twitter. He promoted us. He shared our pictures. We were grateful just to be there, to be a part of something. But the more and more we all thought about it, the more things started to become odd. Things he would say to us started to become odd. Messages that some of us would receive at night became odd, to say the least. But nobody really wanted to say anything because nobody wanted to be that person who talked about the person who was promoting us and helping us. At this point in time, whenever I'm making this video, I am a month away from giving birth. I probably joined the group whenever I was 3 or 4 months pregnant, and this ended about maybe 2-3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago at the most. I started to receive messages from him asking about me being pregnant, what my stomach looked like. How's the baby doing? Is the baby kicking? Is the baby keeping you up? And this would all be messages that I would receive in the middle of the night, like randomly, not in the group, in separate messages. At this point in time, I didn't know that other girls were receiving messages as well in their inboxes, promoting them to eat, to gain weight, to become bigger, to not lose weight. Yes, y'all do see me readjusting camera angles every 5 seconds, but back to what I was saying. So these messages we would receive, but one day in the group I posted a picture, and the transgender woman that I thought was Mark called me sexy, which just isn't something women say to each other. Like, we'll call each other beautiful, pretty, things like that. A random stranger in a group doesn't usually use the term sexy whenever they're referring to someone that they barely even know but converse with on the internet. And it made me feel weird. So maybe a week later, I inboxed one of the girls out the group that I had became close with in the group and asked her if we knew who this person was, if she knew who he was or where he came from. Unfortunately, she didn't know either. She received a message like I received a message, and she entered the group hoping to get some more promotion, more followers, have somewhere safe to talk to somebody. But she told me that she was uncomfortable too, and that she was starting to wonder if he was who he said he was. And I am going to insert a picture of who he said he was, just for reference, because he ended up saying that we knew that he was a male, even though he talked to us about makeup, eyeshadow, menstrual problems, things like that he was going through. But yeah, she didn't know who he was, so I decided that I was going to go into the group with everybody and ask him who he was. Ask him to post pictures of his makeup, of who he was, what his talent was, what it was that he did. I posted something along the lines of, Mark, like, why don't you let us see some of your glam today, considering that you never post pictures of yourself? Or let us see some of your makeup looks. And he replied with something like, yeah, probably gonna get into makeup soon, something along that lines. The person I was talking to in the other chat, she wrote back and was like, he's brushing it off like it's nothing. So I replied and I said, you do makeup, right? To which he replied, I'm a social media manager and I promote glam and this, that, and the other. And that was not him answering the question that I had asked him to begin with. The question was, you do makeup, right, Mark? Save you guys 1,000 details. No, Mark doesn't do makeup. And other people in the group came and they saw the messages and they said, now wait a minute, like, I thought you did makeup, Mark. Like, I was under the impression that you were a transgender woman, Mark. To which he started to basically say that we were all crazy. We all knew this, like, or we should have known this. It should have been better left unsaid, things like that. We should be grateful. We should try to help him, things like that. And a lot of people just replied with, who are you? Like, what is it that you do? What is it that you want? Who are you? But I had found out already. Mark runs blog sites promoting BBWs in a sexualized way, which a lot of us were inside of the group. After a lot of arguments back and forth, a lot of us just left. We left the group. We created another chat instantaneously. We all went in there to discuss what it was that had happened. There were girls saying, well, he was messaging me. I didn't know. I thought he was a transgender. I thought he did makeup. Another one saying that she had met up with him and he was talking about getting into porn in the porn industry and things like that. I started sending screenshots of the Tumblrs he was running and things like that. A lot of us weren't sure if our pictures had been used that we had sent in. A lot of us weren't sure if our business had been spread. A lot of us weren't sure what exactly it was that Mark, or you know what Jason, because that is your name, and I know you're going to watch this because you will not stop, but Jason, a lot of us weren't sure what Jason was doing with any of the information that he set and watched, where the information from these hundreds of hours of conversation went, where our pictures went, where our children's pictures went, what was saved, what was not saved, what he had access to, what he remembered. He did end up sending a picture of himself. He was a straight white male with some sort of disability in a wheelchair, and told us that we should help him, that we should be ashamed of ourselves. A lot of us blocked him. He went on for days to say it was my pregnancy hormones that caused the entire situation, to basically call us liars to other people that he met or other people that were questioning him. But people knew the truth. Some people knew the truth. Some people refused to believe it and are still in the group right now because apparently they knew who he was and just failed to tell the rest of us who he was, which I'm glad those people are no longer around to hear any of our conversation. That being said, people on the internet, beauty influencers, people with careers, dreams, know that you can do it on your own. To everyone who's in that group, still, good riddance. I do wish you the best. I hope that you wake up and realize that you were lied to, that you can do it by yourself, that you don't need some random man sitting at a computer to share your pictures. He's disgusting. He knows he's disgusting. He knows what he did. He is going to watch this video. He may be in the comment section. With that being said, everybody who left that group that day, Chloe, Joy, Vanessa, Blina, Bobby, May, Lindsay, Danielle, Joy, everybody, I'm glad we left. I'm glad we all became closer. I'm glad what happened. Jason, I thank you, because you took us from like here to here. We all talk to each other every single day. It's not about makeup. It's not about glam. It's about happiness. Just know that to each and every one of you guys, I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of the people that you are, the talent that you have. We never needed anybody to help us. We are the talent. We are the person. I sincerely love each and every one of y'all from the bottom of my heart, and I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of us getting over it. Anybody I forgot, any name I left off, just know I love you guys too. Until the next video, be beautiful, be healthy, say your prayers at night, stay strong, keep believing in yourself, keep believing in each other. And 2020, we're coming, and every single one of us are gonna make it, and I hope we all make it together. I love you guys.